Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, love bugs. It's your favorite motivator's motivator, Mimi the Motivator, and this is the Get High on Motivation show. I'm so glad you tuned in for me. We got a lot of great stuff on the line. No special guests. All you have is special me for the day. But we do have a mess to turn into the message at the end of the show, so make sure you stay tuned in for that. It's a really good one. I think that a lot of people may be able to relate to. And our topic of the day is life is a singular journey. So let's dive on into the day. So we're going to start off with our quote of the day. Today's quote is not a famous quote unless I just don't know about it. But I had a wonderful meeting with a photographer by the name of Brian York. You should look him up and see his story. I may have to have him on as a guest so you can hear him up close and personal. But we were talking about moving to Colorado Springs, where there is all this sunlight. And he faces some physical challenges that does not allow him to carry all the equipment that maybe he could have carried when he was younger, or use certain camera equipment that he used to be able to manage. But he was given this piece of advice that just sat big on me, on my chest. And I've been thinking about it ever since. So where he may have been speaking about photography, he gave me a message for life, and he gave me a message for you. And that message is find your light and own it. Find your light and own it. That's what we need to do to be successful out here. That's what we need to do to be all that we came to be. We have to find our light. Like, that's why they say you can't be Superman or you can't be Beyonce. So you have to be you. Find your light and own it. Find what makes you shine. Find what makes you tick. What makes you stand out from the rest? Is it the way you dress? Is it the way that you speak to people? Is it the way that you articulate your thoughts? Is it the way that you're able to draw a blueprint? What is it that you do so well that you just happen to outshine other people when you do it? Even if it's not something that you've ever done for a living, it may not even be something that you do for a hobby. It could be something that you did one time, but you made such an impression that people are still talking about it. Find your light and own it. That's what I am challenging you to do. So by the end of this show, I hope that something at least allows you to see a little spark or a little flicker. If you don't know what your light is, I hope that the Get High on Motivation show can help give you the tools so you can find the light, so it can clear your vision and help give you focus. That's what you tuned in for, right? You tuned in to get your mind right. You tuned in to get your spirit right. Somebody tuned in to get their bank account right. Ain't that right? Shoot. I think we all would take a couple extra zeros on top of whatever we have. But what is going to be required of us all, including Mimi the Motivator, is that I have to find my light and own it. So like I said, we have a great show planned for the day. I am definitely excited about my favorite part of the show, where I get to transform someone's mess into a message. So what does that mean? It means that you get to call me, text me, write me, email me, DM me, whatever you need to do to get your message to me. You can go to mimithemotivator.com and send a message on there. And let me know about your mess. Let me know about what's going on in your life that you just can't figure out what you need to do about. You need some advice. You just need someone you can talk to about it with a clear head on their shoulders. I can't say mine's clear, but you know. But if you even just need to vent, and it's something that you haven't been able to talk to anyone else about, you don't want anybody judging you or judging your situation, I'm not here to judge. I'm here to help. So go ahead and send me your message. You can send me your message at mimithemotivator.com. If you're following me on Instagram, I am Entrepreneur Barbie, and you can send me a DM. Go to my Facebook fan page, Mimi the Motivator, and send me a message. However you need to get that message to me, you get it to me so we can get that mess into a message. Because your mess can transform someone else's life. That's why we have to share our stories. That's why it's important to share our mess. It's just important, or even more important, as to how we tell that story. So we may even delve a little bit into that, because it's important that you're not telling your story as a victim. And very often people will call me with these victim calls, with these 911, 411 calls, and would leave me so heavy. And I didn't like it. So I had to do something. And what I remembered from science is that energy is not created nor destroyed, but it is transformed or transferred. And so I will transform whatever situation you have going on into a message that we all can take and live by or do something with in our week. So thank you again for tuning in to the Get High on Motivation show. Make sure that you do subscribe to this podcast. It's on my website. It's on iTunes. It's on Stitcher. It is on Google Play, I think. Don't quote me. I don't have an Android phone. So one of my Android users, check it out and let me know. So today's topic, again, is life is a singular journey. I was raised my entire life hearing those words. Life is a singular journey. When I was a teenager, I really wasn't sure what it meant. A great man had told me that I was going to live somewhat of a lonely life because of the way my mind thought, because of the way I operated. But I was also told to have no fear, don't fret, because life is a singular journey. If I ever expressed any concern about a relationship with someone, whether it's a romantic relationship or a business partnership or a boss or a coworker or one of my employees at work, my students when I was a teacher, I was reminded life is a singular journey. When the SHIT hit the fan in my family's household, I was reminded again that life is a singular journey. And I often wondered, what does that even really mean? And then I even had my own little soliloquy that I could follow up with it, but I couldn't say that I truly felt and understood what I was saying. The words were coming through me. The words were coming to me. But I didn't understand them. I didn't know what they meant. Life is a singular journey. What does that mean? Life is a singular journey. That doesn't mean that you're going to be alone. Life being a singular journey lets you know that your journey is all your own. It starts on your own. It ends on your own. Even if you were born as twins, that doesn't mean that you took your first breath at the same time, because you obviously did not. Somebody came out first and somebody came out second. And somebody's probably going to go out first and somebody's going to go out second. Life is a singular journey. You get married and now you're a part of this unit. But life is still a singular journey. Because when you get up and go to work, you go to work by yourself. You don't take husband or wife with you unless you all are some type of power couple and work together. But otherwise, the average couple does not get up and go to work together. They go on their own journeys for the day. You have your own mental journey that you go with. So even if someone is sitting there in the car with you on the way to work, you're going through what you're going through in your mind and in your world and in your heart, in your spirit. And the person on the passenger side or in the driver's seat is doing the same. Life is a singular journey. There's going to be heartaches. There's going to be ups. There's going to be celebrations. There's going to be all kind of experiences where there are other people there, seemingly a part of your journey. What I used to say, and I still do say, is that people's paths cross, and then sometimes people's paths align, or we might join paths temporarily. But that does not mean that the paths will continue on together. Or it may. Or one might go longer than the other. Somebody might die first, which means that the other person has to continue on. Life is a singular journey. You can go off to college, you and your best friend. You all can even have the same majors. You can have the same clothes and the same outfits. But your journey through college is still going to be your own. You can take all the same classes, but it's still going to be your own journey. And your journey is not to be compared to anyone else's journey. Your journey is all of your own. You can't worry about where someone else's starts, where someone else's ends, where's theirs is going to get a fork in the road, where it's going to wind and curve and dip and go up and go down, where it's going to be a mountaintop, where it's going to be some valley. Pay attention to your own journey. Stay on your own path. The light is only lighting up your path. So follow it. Because at the end of the day, you are responsible for your experience, which ultimately means you are responsible for your own journey. Where do you want to go? Who travels to places that they don't want to go? Unless you're a child, you should not be going anywhere that you do not want to go. And if you are going somewhere you do not want to go, I am hoping that you have some hell of a reason as to why. It is very important for us to do what makes us happy, what works for us. Because what works for me may not work for you. And what works for you may not work for your friend. That's why we all have to figure out what is our journey. You can't base your journey on someone else's path. Follow your own. I go hiking all the time, and I ordinarily do not hike on my own. And even though we are following the same path, going on the same trail, we will still take alternate steps. Someone may go around the bush. Someone may go down this way. We're all right there, and maybe even 1 foot or 2 feet apart from each other, going in the same direction, but not taking the same steps, which lets you know that your journey cannot be compared to someone else's in the steps that they are taking to get to where they want to go. I don't care what it is that you want to be when you grow up. I don't care if you want to be a stand-up comedian. If you want to be a stand-up comedian, you have to do things the way you feel best suit you when you have that microphone in your hand and you are on that stage. I am not saying that you cannot learn from the great comedians of the past, but you cannot base your journey upon theirs. So if it took them such and such amount of months or such and such amount of years for this to happen, that does not mean that that is your timeline. Everybody has their own thing, whether they can realize it or not. Unfortunately, we live in a world of sheeple that follow the follower. So very many people are not following their own path. They are not focused on their own journey. Very many of us are focused on the journeys of the people who come on television, and we don't even know if this is a real journey or not, or a scripted journey. But we are tuned in, eyes glued. We know all about every character's whole life being. We can tell you about their personality, who they dated, who they want to date, how they feeling, all of this kind of stuff, but probably can't even tell someone about themselves to that level of detail. Most people don't even spend time with themselves, is what I've noticed. They spend time doing everything else. You spend time on social media. You spend time at work. You spend time running errands. You spend time watching TV. You spend time ticking around and clicking around on your phone. But not just spending time with yourself. Always filling your schedule up with something. Well, I have a meeting. I have to go here. I have to sit on the board there. Oh, my friend needs me to help do this. Or a whole schedule full of busyness. The worst part is that busyness does not equate to success. Just because tires are moving and spinning does not mean that they're actually going somewhere and making traction. You could be spinning into a rut and going deeper into a rut, going nowhere fast. You want to make sure that you're making traction in life, even if you're having to move slow, even if you have to stop for a moment to reset and to figure out what's next. It's okay. You don't always have to have all the steps laid out before you. You have to trust the yellow brick road is going to light its way up. You'll hear me talk about the yellow brick road all the time because I believe in the yellow brick road. I believe that you just have to take a step in the direction that is showing itself to you, revealing itself to you, the path of least resistance. And as you take a step, another step will be revealed. You just have to be risky, bold, brave, confident, cocky, call it what you want, enough, faithful, enough to take the one step. You don't even have to worry about taking 2 steps. Worry about taking the one step in the direction of what you would like to go. Design your journey. Map it out. Know that it may not go according to your map and plan, but know where you are attempting to get to. Know your destination. How can you get somewhere without knowing your destination? You can't. Unless you just luckily float about to it, which can happen too. But if you know exactly what it is that you desire, you don't even necessarily have to go after it. It will come to you. The phone calls will come to you. The text messages will come to you. The DMs will come to you. The emails will come to you. But be something for all that can come too. Decide what you want your journey to look like. Decide where you want your journey to take you. And then be bold enough to take the first step. Thank you again for tuning in to the Get High on Motivation. We're going to be moving on, and when we come back, we will go over this mess and transform it into a message. This is the Get High on Motivation show, and I am Mimi the Motivator. So welcome back. It is that time of the show, my favorite time of the show, of the Get High on Motivation show, where we transform a mess into a message. Today we have a mess from Esteban in Memphis. Thank you so much for tuning in and sharing your mess with us. We all have something to learn from each other. So it says, just not feeling my life here. I have a house I own and a cool job, just in the wrong city. I am really considering selling the house and moving back. I have an opportunity to work with dialysis patients in Nashville as a springboard job. I have been asking the ancestors to bless me with an opportunity to come back home. But I don't want to throw the potential opportunity for this loot here. Thank you again, Esteban, for sharing your mess with us. So, very often I find when someone asks me a question or presents their situation to me, I hear the answer in the presentation. So you said that you have been asking the ancestors to bless you with an opportunity to go back home to Nashville. And then you also told me that there is a job there in Nashville for you to work with dialysis patients, which I'm assuming that's something that's in your field, something you can do. Why not go ahead and take it? And know that when you say but, it's like drawing a line through everything. Every single thing that you said prior to it. But I don't want to throw the potential opportunity for this loot here. The loot is going to go wherever you go. The loot is going to follow you. Or let me be a little more clear. The loot is going to follow your success. So you can be successful wherever you desire to be successful. And if you feel like where you are now is not the place to be, then take your butt on and move. You don't even necessarily have to sell the house. Maybe you can go ahead and just rent it out. That way you'll have an extra stream of income. And make that move. If that's what you want to do what you want to do. Don't live your life in regret. Don't live your life worrying about the what ifs. Because the what ifs are only what ifs. They are not the it is. And if you don't know about the isness, you need to go to my YouTube channel and check out the Isness is the Business. Look for the full-length 14-minute video about the Isness is the Business. We can't live life on just potential alone. I graduated from Lane College, the power of potential. Potential has no power unless you act on it. So if you're going to make the loot there, then you're going to go ahead and make the loot there. And if not, take your butt home. I want to thank you all for tuning in to the Get High on Motivation show. Make sure that you join me next week. I expect to see you here live and in person. Yes, next week. We have been doing episodes just twice a month, but we are ramping it up and amping it up because we got things to talk about. There's a whole list of things to talk about, and I have a whole list of folks that want to come on and share their love with you as well and their experience out here in the business world and in the world at large. If you have someone that you think that may be interested in coming on the show and being with me, let me know. Send them my way. I love mostly minority and female entrepreneurs. That's who really gets my juices flowing. And I like to give us a more of a platform to work with. So send you my way. And if that person is you, I can't wait to talk to you. So I do have a lot of great guests coming up on the next show. So please tune in and let me know what you think. If you have comments, I am open to comments. I am open to suggestions. Please make sure that you go to my website, mimithemotivator.com. I think you can go ahead and join in if you want to. I do not bombard you with emails because I do not care to even check emails. So you don't have to worry about me even really writing you an email. But I do write blogs. There is a blog site, a blog page on mimithemotivator.com. And if you're a Facebook person, I'm on Facebook, Mimi the Motivator. If you are on Instagram, that is where I live and love to play. That's where you can find me all day, boo, on the IG. So look up Mimi the Motivator, but my handle is Entrepreneur Barbie. So you have to know how to spell entrepreneur, and if I don't know how to spell it, you don't know how to spell it. But guess what? I know how to spell it, so it means you know how to spell it, and our minds are connected. I believe in the oneness, and we'll talk more about that one day coming soon. But I don't want to overwhelm you. I am so glad that you were here and in the place and in the space. I hope that you walked away with some little nugget that you can use and share with someone that you love and want to see have a better life. That's what this is all about. I want to see you all be happy and be healthy and be the greatest version of yourself. Because that's how you're going to get all the money in the bank. That's how you're going to get the loot, Esteban. So Esteban, tell all your people in Memphis that they need to tune into the Get High on Motivation show so they can hear everybody's favorite motivator, Mimi the Motivator. I am your hostess with the mostest, and I love you. I believe in you. Be happy. Be healthy. Be you. All right. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Let's see what we got. Show me what you're working with.